Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another beach clean adventure. Today, I wanted to do one that has been on my list for a while now, and that is trying to beach clean to collect hygiene products. So, I'll include in that everything from dental floss picks to uh, brushes, toothbrushes, hairbrushes, combs, stuff that you don't normally associate with beach trash, but you find a lot of that stuff out here. So, I'm going to circle around this cove here and start picking up trash as we head on over to the more ocean-y side and see how much we can collect in an hour beach clean, which sadly might be more than you suspect. So, yeah, it's a nice day out. Springtime, figure might as well do a cleany related video with personal hygiene. So, grab your pickers, your bags, everything else, and come take a hike with me, and then we'll recap what we collect. All right, well, that was quite the haul as usual. Unfortunately, even just focusing on, as you can see, a bag of hygiene products, I was able to pretty much fill up. So, congratulations to whoever won my weekly Instagram contest of guessing, in this case, how much weight of hygiene products I collected in just 1 hour. Not easy to guess because, again, like I always say, you never know what you're going to find out here once you actually get out here. And I was actually surprised because normally I find a toothbrush or two, and I actually didn't find any of those this time, which, of course, the one time I try to do a personal hygiene beach clean video, I don't find any of those. But they are out here because I have spotted them before and picked them up. But there's a lot of other stuff, different types of toiletries, again, hygiene products in general, that I thought were interesting to sort of just talk about a little bit because, again, when you think about where a lot of this plastic pollution is coming from, the obvious sources are people leaving stuff at the beach, but then there's the less obvious sources of street runoff from tipped over garbage pails and that sort of thing. And that's where a lot of these hygiene products come from. So as you see here, something like hand sanitizer, this very well could have been left at the beach incidentally while somebody was picnicking or something and obviously forgotten. And this not only has different types of maybe chemicals in it, like you'll see that with other containers like shampoo containers and that sort of thing, but it's obviously plastic as well, right? So not so good for marine environments. But again, a lot of stuff that definitely I don't think is starting here at the beach, like a lot of these hairbrushes that I found 4 or 5 of these, and again, that seems like too many for that not to be part of a larger pattern, right? And these are almost always plastic, these types of combs. Yeah, I should distinguish actually, these are combs, right? And I do find hairbrushes as well, but found a lot of these today, 4 or 5 of those. And of course, face masks, which unfortunately are the new form of personal hygiene pollution, which are not only from street runoff, but also people being, I guess, careless or just forgetting, losing them. They fall out of pockets, or of course there are those people who do discard them. So I found maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 of these. And yeah, these are probably the prime type of personal protection hygiene product that I find nowadays, these face masks, which are bad for reasons I've talked about in other videos where I've solely focused on these, so I won't talk too much about them, but obviously they're made of synthetic fibers and these loops as well. It's kind of like the modern day version of, if you remember, if you were around like I was as a kid in the 90s and going back even into the 80s, they had those soda 6-pack rings, right? And there was all public service announcements and that sort of stuff to tell people not to use those or to cut the rings because animals were getting their feet caught in them. Same thing with these plastic loops now, these, or elastic, whatever you want to call them. But so people say to cut these loops before you discard of your masks because animals do get caught in them, and it just gets tangled on different types of biomass as well. You can see here it tangles up biomass, and whenever garbage is tangling up biomass, I say that that's not a great thing. And yeah, the more you look into this, the more this stuff clearly is not being left here just at the beach. I don't know if this counts as hygiene. I guess if you wash your clothes and hang them, it can count, but like, come on, what is a hanger doing here at the beach? Obviously this doesn't belong here, and it's not people actually hanging their laundry at the beach. It's clearly coming from other sources of runoff. So yeah, I'm not sure what the answer or solutions to many of these issues are. I mean, there are little things that I think are just worth talking about. Like I said, cutting loops to masks and being more sort of diligent maybe, right? And trying to pick those up, and whether masks that you're leaving behind or ones that you just find while you're out walking around. But there's other things too, like single-use plastics for different types of, again, sanitizers maybe, but these little spray bottles, actually don't know what this is, but you find a lot of other bathroom toiletries like this for, different just, I don't know, shampoos and lotions and that sort of stuff. I found a few of these which are kind of hard to distinguish as they fade, but like, here's one that, it's like a dark circle correction, I don't know, eyeliner thing or something. I'm way out of my element with like some of this stuff. Again, it's coming as runoff, so I don't know the answers, right? Like, do we have to just try to reduce those or find sustainable alternatives in terms of packaging and reusing them? And there is stuff like that out there. There's some accounts I'll continue to link on Instagram of stores and companies that try to find reusable alternatives. So I think the more people that are aware of this stuff, the more we can just sort of talk about it and try to find solutions together, right? I think that's a big part of the process, essentially. Because as I always say, I don't necessarily have all the answers. I'm right out here with you trying to just identify what exactly is going on in terms of, okay, well, then how do we move forward towards doing something about these issues, right? And again, this includes everything, including these large sort of soap containers that, again, are just becoming plastic trash and getting into marine ecosystems, right? You hear these stories all the time of how much plastic they find in the stomachs of dead fish and whales and that sort of thing. Not good for us to be ingesting if we eat the fish, but certainly not good for the fish themselves either, right? Yeah, this is probably part of a broom as an example, but it might be part of a larger brush too. All synthetic plastic fibers, unfortunately. You also find a lot of these tampon pieces, which is why I'm wearing gloves and have sanitizer, in addition to these masks and dental picks and that sort of thing. Again, classic example, these dental picks. How did this get out here, right? People flossing on the beach, get real. It's running off from other areas. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much our beach clean for today. So lots of personal hygiene products out here, unfortunately. But another specific type of beach clean I wanted to check off the list. And I have a lot more interesting ideas coming up as well. So if you enjoy seeing these types of finds and going on these types of little hike explorations, please do subscribe, because like I said, the more people who subscribe and comment and share their ideas and thoughts, the more I think that leads to learning more, right? And having further conversations about how we can maybe do a little bit better ourselves and then collectively to implement some solutions. And that, as I always say, is my favorite part of doing these videos, is just hearing from other people what they think, what they find, and just sharing those stories. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody who watches, and I look forward to many more beach cleans to come. The weather's finally looking up. I'm in my t-shirt finally, trimmed the beard, so it's a little chilly today, but spring is on the doorstep. It's pretty much started, and we're gonna have a lot more interesting videos to come this year, believe me. So you might want to subscribe if you want to see more of those. But anyways, thanks again so much for joining me this week, and until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. Be well, clean well, and hopefully with the weather improving, I will see you all on the beach very soon.